Hello, and welcome back to the Fandom Academy podcast. This is episode 12, and I am your host for today. And I'm joined, as always, by my beautiful and brilliant co-hosts, CJ and Laila. How you guys doing today?
I'm miserable. Thanks for asking. Next.
Oh my god. I'm not miserable, but I will be next Friday, and we will get into why.
Absolutely. Yeah, so we'll just get right into it. CJ, this past weekend was WrestleMania. We had a couple episodes. We had Liam on, I think 2 episodes ago, and then last episode, we kind of got into some of our predictions and whatnot. So yeah, CJ, take it away.
WrestleMania 40 has come and gone, and it practically was probably the best WrestleMania I've ever watched live. That main event that we'll get to in a little bit from night 2, bonkers. But start with night 1. In totality, night 1 was a lot weaker than night 2. Night 1 had a lot more flops, I would think. But it's still a great show. And it kicked off with one of the best matches of the weekend with Rhea Ripley defeating Becky Lynch in a great match. Rhea Ripley's reign of terror continues. Becky Lynch wrestled this match with a strep throat. When I have a strep throat, I can't get out of bed. And Becky Lynch gave match of the weekend, so all power to her. I think now, moving from this match, Becky's probably going to take some time off. I think it's needed. She had a kid not that long. She's a kid. She had strep throat, and she's been carrying the company on her back. It's a lot of that women's division for a better part of 3 years since she had her child. So I think she deserves some time off, and I think when she comes back, hopefully we get a new character, a new evolution of Becky Lynch. I kind of miss heel Becky Lynch. That match with heel Becky Lynch and Bianca Belair from WrestleMania 38 is one of my favorite matches of all time, and heel Becky works so good, and I think it's time for a new twist in Becky's character, so I think that would really be fun. But Rhea Ripley's next feud, as we saw in Raw, is Liv Morgan, the Revenge Tour, makes it to its final destination of Rhea Ripley. That match will be fun. I'm assuming that happens at Backlash in France, so I'm excited about that. The next thing I want to talk about is LWO, which was Rey Mysterio and Andrade taking on Santos Escobar and Dominic Mysterio. And this match was mostly forgettable until its ending, which had Jason Kelce and Lane Johnson from the Philadelphia Eagles repping in Philly, showing up in the mask that you might recognize from the Chiefs Super Bowl after party that Jason Kelce blacked out in. Now in Eagles colors, ready for WrestleMania. And that was super fun. There was a spot in this match where I thought was really cool where Rey Mysterio got on Andrade's shoulders and they did a dive, which was really, really cool. But other than that, LWO wins. Kind of a nothing match. We'll see. Hopefully they can give both of these teams something to go forward with, because it seems like that story was kind of dead in the water. The next match was the 6-pack ladder match for the Undisputed Tag Team titles, which are now split back to the SmackDown and Raw Tag Team titles. So we had some crazy spots in this match. DDTs through tables, some dives on top of ladders. It was really, really fun. The SmackDown Tag Team titles went to Grayson Waller and Austin Theory. And the Raw Tag Team titles went to R-Truth and The Miz. R-Truth finishing his story. And as we saw on Raw, his childhood hero, who he is older than, John Cena, he got to team with him on Monday, and that was pretty cool. My favorite spot of this match was when R-Truth goes to the tag and tries to get a tag in a match that requires 0 tags, gets the hot tag, pins Finn Balor 1, 2, 3. Didn't mean anything because it's a ladder match, but that was really funny. R-Truth is brilliant, and at 52 years old, he is still killing it, and is one of my favorite parts of watching Raw weekly. Next was, in my opinion, is the worst match of the weekend, which sucks because this match had a lot of hype, was Jey Uso defeating Jimmy Uso. Lil Wayne helped Jey Uso on the entrance, which was probably the highlight of this match. Shout out Sienna. Jey Uso defeated Jimmy in a pretty boring match that had about 1,000 super kicks. And yeah, nothing too memorable. But the next match was pretty memorable. Gunther finally lost after 600 days as Intercontinental Champion to Sami Zayn. I disagree with taking the title off Gunther, but I thought the match was really good. Didn't really know if I loved the ending, but I'm glad Sami got the win here. They did the Rocky story in Philadelphia. It made sense. Sami got his moment, which was pretty cool. And this probably means Gunther's headed to the world title picture in the near future, hopefully in Berlin, as he's Austrian. Berlin's pretty close to Austria. So he'll be a fan favorite there, and I hope we get Cody Gunther. That would rule. Next, Jade, Bianca, and Naomi defeated Damage Control's Asuka, Kairi Sane, and Dakota Kai. Jade Cargill's a fucking star. She came out in X-Men Storm gear, which fuck the X-Men, fuck Storm. Fuck Bo DeMaio. Fuck the MCU. But Jade Cargill looked great. Bianca looked great. Naomi looked great. They all shined. Dakota Kai and the Kabuki Warriors also look good. I'm glad they all got to have a match at WrestleMania. They've been killing it. I cannot wait to see where Jade and Bianca and Naomi go from here. And then we get to the main event of night one. And this is what I was kind of scared about because The Rock hadn't wrestled in so long. And they gave him a 44-minute match. And I thought he did phenomenal. The Rock as a heel has been working so good. It is so much fun to boo The Rock. And he is so good at getting the heat. His entrance was so badass with the fire in the video game Final Boss. He is killing it right now. Him and Roman won after The Rock pretty much bullied the ref into letting him do whatever he wanted. It made sense. You want to give Cody that one last hurdle leading into Sunday. Poor Seth Rollins, though. Rollins didn't have a very good WrestleMania weekend. But we'll get into that right now. Damian Priest cashed in after Drew McIntyre defeated Seth Rollins in the opening match. Drew versus Seth was phenomenal. Before we even get into the Damian Priest stuff, Drew versus Seth had a killer match. Drew McIntyre finally got his moment in front of fans. Drew McIntyre's pinnacle of his career was in April of 2020, which, if you remember, not a lot was going on back then. We were all kind of at home. His WrestleMania, he defeated Brock Lesnar in the main event in front of 0 people. And he hadn't been able to have that moment in front of fans since. So I'm so glad he got to have that in Philly, won a world championship in front of so many people. He got to have his moment with his wife. A highlight of this match for me was mid-match when he goes over to his wife, gets his phone, and tweets out, "bored at work," in the middle of a match. So iconic. And then he would win. And then his hubris is CM Punk. He goes over to the commentary table where CM Punk has been doing commentary, starts talking shit. CM Punk, who we thought was injured, takes off his arm brace, beats the shit out of Drew McIntyre. And then Damian Priest's music hits. He finally cashes in his Money in the Bank, which gives him a title match whenever he wants it, for all of you not wrestling fans. He gets it. He cashes in, wins the title. Drew McIntyre lost his title because he couldn't get CM Punk out of his head. And Damian Priest is now world champion. Him and Rhea Ripley both have the world titles. Both world titles belong in the Judgment Day. Stand the Judgment Day. And I'm so excited for Drew versus Punk. I don't know when we're getting it, but that match is going to be crazy. The beef between those two is insane. And while we're talking about CM Punk, AEW decided to, so context for you two. Last August, I believe, or a couple August ago, AEW ran a show in London called All In. And at this show, CM Punk got into a backstage brawl with Jungle Boy, Jack Perry, who's a wrestler over there, in which the owner of that company, Tony Khan, said he feared for his life. It was so bad. And we hadn't seen the footage. They decided to, in order to combat WWE and CM Punk, because CM Punk did an interview this week where he's kind of shit-talking AEW, and Triple H had made some comments about AEW. So they're like, we're going to combat the hate in WWE's massive weekend, and we're going to show the footage. The footage looked less than like a high school fight. Like there was barely any contact. He pushed him like twice, and it was broken up within 3 seconds. So Tony Khan, he said he feared for his life, clearly has never been to a public school. I feel bad for Jack Perry because this pretty much kills him. The reaction on Twitter made CM Punk look like a god. People were standing CM Punk for this. CM Punk stood on business. One of my favorite tweets said that Jack Perry's pussy was not in bio. That made me giggle. But it was a questionable decision. Knowing what the footage looked like, it just showed that CM Punk told the truth about the situation. So it was pretty questionable to show it. I get why they did it. Hopefully it doesn't kill AEW because AEW is great for the competition. It's always good in terms of making the product better. So I hope it doesn't kill them. But the reaction on Twitter was not great. But back to WrestleMania. Next match, we had Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits destroy Karrion Kross in the AOP, the Final Testament. And a pretty uneventful match. It was fun. There were some cool moments with tables and stuff. Bubba Ray Dudley was doing special enforcer, special referee. So that was pretty cool. Nothing too memorable. And then LA Knight defeated AJ Styles. AJ Styles has a new theme, which is questionable because his old theme was a banger. But LA Knight needed this win. This made sense. Pretty solid match. And then we get to Laila's favorite match of the night, which she hadn't watched. Logan Paul defeated Kevin Owens and Randy Orton in a triple threat. Match was pretty good. iShow Speed was there in the Prime Bottle this year. Not KSI. Yeah, that's what we all thought it was again, but they can't do the same thing twice. So they had Speed. Speed got RKO'd. Good. Speed's annoying, so I'm glad that happened. But Logan Paul retained, which I'm also glad that happened. Logan Paul has been killing it as United States Championship. I didn't want to see his reign in here. I think he'll carry it until at least SummerSlam as he comes home to Cleveland. I think he'll have a big match there. And the next match was my second favorite match of the weekend behind the main event, which we'll talk about here in a second, where Bayley defeated Io Sky. Bayley finally had a one-on-one match at WrestleMania. She's been carrying this company since she got here in like the mid-2010s. Has been phenomenal with Damage Control. Finally got to turn babyface when Damage Control turned on her. People were ready to cheer for her. They were singing her song the entire match. This match ruled. Io Sky looked like a star in defeat. She's the future of this company. But Bayley finally gets her moment, and she looked like a star. So glad we finally got to have that. And now let's talk about the main event. This story is crazy. So let's take it back nearly 4 years ago, 2020, August. Roman Reigns won the Universal Championship. Context, I was weeks away from starting my junior year in high school. I was still a sophomore when he won this title. I am now 2 weeks away from finishing my second year in college, and he just lost the title. Crazy.
That's actually crazy.
He held that title for so long, and that reign is going to go down as one of the greatest of all time. Such an entertaining reign. Acknowledged Tribal Chief. He's killed it. He's going to take some time off. He deserves it. But let's talk about this match. Cody Rhodes came to WWE in 2022 at WrestleMania, and second day on the job, Raw after WrestleMania, he talked about finishing a story. His dad, the iconic, famous, legendary Dusty Rhodes, was never able to win the WWE Championship, and he had a journey. We all thought it was going to happen last year at WrestleMania. Didn't. Roman Reigns won. And I was really bad back then that Roman Reigns retained. But looking back, I'm going to say it's worth it for this moment because this moment was badass. Match starts, blah, blah, blah. They had a great match before the interferences start. I thought they were killing it. They were doing each other's moves. Roman Reigns hit a crossroads, which is Cody's finisher. Cody kicked out, and then Roman Reigns just like, that move is so stupid. It's so bad. It finishes nobody, beats nobody, which was so good. Cody hit a spear through the barricade. And then here comes Jimmy Uso. Jimmy Uso super kicks Cody, Superman punch, and then Jey Uso's music hits, and it began. Jey Uso speared Jimmy Uso off the stage in a spot that was better than the entirety of their match the day before. Ruled. And then Solo Sikoa comes down, and this is where the madness begins. Solo and Roman beat up on Cody for a little bit. Cody keeps kicking out. And then John Cena's music hits. John Cena hadn't been seen in WWE, I believe, since Solo Sikoa beat him over in Saudi Arabia. And so it made sense for Cena to come down there, kick Solo's ass, put him through a table. And then as Cena's recovering from the table, if you smell, here comes The Rock. Back again. The final boss arrived. That stare down, legendary. Cena and Rock, two of the best to ever do it. Two of the biggest movie stars. You had Ricky Stenicki staring down the goddamn Tooth Fairy in the middle of the ring.
Not the Tooth Fairy.
And that was pretty cool. Cena got his ass kicked by The Rock. And then we hear the Shields music hit. Seth Rollins comes down, immediately gets his ass kicked by Roman Reigns. In full Shield gear, which will come into play in a minute. Roman and Seth, along with Jon Moxley, Cincinnati's own, used to be in a thing called the Shield. Pretty big, stable, dominant. My childhood, I grew up on the Shield, so hearing their music at WrestleMania again was pretty cool. But Seth got his ass kicked. But then The Rock's about to whip Cody Rhodes. He's looking at Mama Rhodes, saying, "This is your son. I'm about to kick his ass." Rock dropped F-bombs left, right, and center during this, so the audio kept cutting out because they had to bleep it. And then you hear the bell of the Undertaker. Did not see that one coming. That was wild. Lights go out. Lights come back on. Undertaker standing behind The Rock. Choke slam to The Rock. Rock's out of the picture. Undertaker disappears again. Cody stands up. Recovers. Roman recovers. Roman has a steel chair. And Seth Rollins is starting to stand up. And so is Cody. Roman has a decision to make. Is he going to keep Cody Rhodes down and keep his title? Or is he going to get revenge from when Seth Rollins turned his back on Roman Reigns? And in the same exact way, with a chair to the back, Roman picks Seth Rollins. Seth falls the exact same way Roman fell. Goes for a spear. Cody counters. 3 crossroads. 1, 2, 3. Cody Rhodes wins the title. Oh my God, I've watched that match like 5 times. What a moment. I was tearing up when it happened. I love Cody Rhodes so much. His story is just one of my favorites in wrestling history. The story's finally finished. We don't have to hear finish the story anymore, which I'm going to miss. I love saying finish the story. But Samantha Irvin, who's the ring announcer, is brilliant. She was crying, announcing that Cody Rhodes won the title. Cody's entire family comes into the ring. All the people who were wronged by the bloodline, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, Randy Orton, LA Knight, John Cena, CM Punk, a who's who in Wrestling Hall of Famers come to support Cody in the ring. Triple H comes down. His family's in the ring. It's a beautiful moment. But my favorite part about it was the storytelling elements that Seth Rollins told Cody Rhodes in the build to WrestleMania that there's one man who's uniquely suited to be your shield against the bloodline. And I love that played into the finish because Roman couldn't get past that Seth Rollins turned on him all the way back in 2014, and it cost him his 4-year title. And I think that's so fun. When we get that Seth Roman match that we've been dying for, it's going to fucking rule. And WrestleMania finished in one of the best ways I've ever seen. So many new ways to go from here. New era. Triple H has been killing it. I'm so excited to see where we go from here. And yeah, Cody Rhodes is our champion. I will be live at SmackDown on April 26th in Cincinnati. I'm so excited. It's the draft. Yeah, great weekend of wrestling.
Good shit. We love to see it. Yeah, so now that I feel like that's a major story being told. And I feel like you said, there's so many different ways that they can take it. And so now that it's kind of like fresh, per se, I really want to kind of get into it and like follow stories and follow characters because because I watched WrestleMania without having any idea like what the story really was. And so, but even still, I had a lot of fun just, playing along and like seeing what was going on. And that was a lot of fun.
And it's such a hot product right now. They're like, it's back.
Really?
Like they were so long. Like when I used to watch wrestling in 2018, 2019, especially 2021 through 2022, it was rough.
Yeah.
Like it was bad. Like it was hard to watch. I would go weeks without watching Raw. I would miss pay-per-views. I used to never do that. And it's good again. I feel like I can't miss a second of what, like when Raw's on, I'm watching Raw. Tonight, SmackDown's on at 8. I'll be tuned in. It literally feels like I can't miss a second. It feels like the biggest thing could happen at any point. Triple H has really restored the product. WWE's cool again. It's fun again. It feels like it's golden age. The new era is crazy. The stars they have, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Cody Rhodes, Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, Rhea Ripley, Becky Lynch. John Cena's back in the picture. Who knows for how long? The Rock. The Rock has been on Raw and SmackDown and pay-per-views for the past month. And his story's not finished. He's going to end up fighting Roman Reigns at WrestleMania next year, and it's going to be fucking amazing. And
love to see
it's
that.
Just Bad Bunny, Logan Paul, the biggest names in the world are coming to WWE, and it's so exciting to watch. I mean, just look at the crowd. You had George Kittle, you had Drewski, Vanessa Hudgens, fucking Gabriella was there. Everyone in the world wants to watch wrestling right now, and it's so cool and so fun to watch. I mean, Jason Kelsey's one of the biggest names in the world right now, and he was there. They got him on the show, not just in the crowd, on the show. They're doing a tremendous job, and I'm so excited to see the future.
Yeah, well, I'm excited to see how the rest of this unfolds, especially going into what was it, SummerSlam?
In Cleveland. Yeah. Me and Jaden will be there. Signed up for pre-sale today.
I'm very excited for that. I definitely want to check that out. But something we're also excited for, and I'll pass it to Laila for this one. The Tortured Poets Department is soon to release. Laila, take us away.
Everyone came to see the brothers.
I'm here to support my school, for Taylor Swift as well. That's the real reason I'm here. I got my bracelets on. I'm ready.
Just had to get that out there.
News era. A week from today, time of recording, we will be simultaneously blessed and also just ruined by Taylor's new album, Tortured Poets Department. It feels like I've lived 600 lives since she announced it at the Grammys. But it's finally here. It's a week away. By the time you're listening to this, it'll be just a few days away. I'm terrified. I really do not know what to expect from this album apart from just sheer devastation. It's been compared to certain tracks from Red, from Fearless, from many different albums, which I don't know where these are coming from, but I'll trust it. We also got, I'm assuming it was a lyric that Taylor Nation released, which was "Crowd goes wild at her fingertips. Half Moonshine Full Eclipse, which was released on the day that there was a solar eclipse. So I don't know whose fucking brain was behind that, but whatever. I don't know how she keeps doing things like this. It's been revealed that a lot of the tracks are very long, and I think it's So Long London that's the same length as like one of her longest songs in the same category of like Dear John, Last
I think I
Kiss.
saw the
Hopewell.
longest song was like 5 minutes and 29 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Which
we
is pretty
know
long for a song. Yeah.
songs of that length by Taylor are never a safe space. So
Also,
it
So
just
Long
makes me
London's
more
a track
terrified.
5, so like I didn't even have to know the
Yeah.
length to know that shit's gonna hurt. So.
Yeah, it's gonna be a rough time, but I am excited because any new Taylor music is just the best time ever. But like I said, I am very terrified. I'm literally taking a trip to Edinburgh in Scotland to go and listen to this album with my best friend because we just know that we can't listen to this by ourselves. It's not gonna be your average listening experience. It's gonna be a religious experience. So, CJ, how are you gonna listen to this album next Friday?
So actually, me and one of my friends are having a release party. We're gonna make some themed drinks and try to keep our tears in our eyes.
Yeah.
This is gonna be wild. I'm scared, but new Taylor Swift is always good, and it's not just like a re-recording. I get hyped for the re-recordings. This is a brand new album. The hype's on a completely different level. Haven't had one since Midnight's, which really wasn't that long ago, but it feels like it was forever ago. I'm so excited, man. I can't put it into words. It's gonna be unreal. It's a long album too. I think it's like over an hour, which is really long. And there's so many bonus tracks I'm gonna have to keep up with and find audios for and stuff. It's gonna be crazy. I think the song I'm most excited for is probably So Long London, but also her song with Florence Welch from Florence and the Machine is gonna be crazy. Fortnite is my favorite video game, so of course I'm excited for Fortnite.
I love Florence and the Machine, so that one is probably up there with one of my favorites.
I believe Florence also is producing a couple of the songs too. I think she's producing Florida, which is the one she's on. But I have to believe I saw she's producing a couple others. I want to say So Long London was one of them. So I'm not completely sure about that. So don't like tell your friends that I said that and then blame me. But like, I'm pretty sure I saw that. I know she's producing more than one. And Aaron Dessner's on a couple of songs, which is exciting. Those songs hit. Listen to Folklore and Evermore. I don't know how to put into words. I'm so excited. I'll be sad. I will be nervous as hell. I'll be excited as shit. I'm so hyped. Do we think we get any Travis songs? I don't think so. I think it's
not yet.
I think it was probably mostly done by the time she met Travis. So
I think definitely because her and Joe broke up like a year ago to this day, like a few days ago. So she hasn't even been with Travis that long. So if there are any, we'll know about it.
They went public at that one random football game in September.
Yeah,
it was like
I
week
want
2
to
or
say
3.
Yeah, like later on in the year for sure.
But apparently they were dating for a while before that, or like hung out multiple times. So midsummer is my guess. Probably around the Kansas City shows, because that's when he shot his shot. So I'm guessing around then is when they started. So that was like what, July? So yeah, there's no way they'd get a song out in December.
Sorry.
No, I was gonna say you're losing me, but then they revealed, because that came out pretty quickly after.
I was gonna say that's the thing that's concerning me is how devastating your losing me is, and that's like the first taste of the breakup that we got. So
but apparently that song was written in 2021, so that was before they even broke up.
Yeah.
So like,
I don't know.
This is like the actual breakup. So, oof. Also.
Oh, you go.
Sorry. I saw Travis Kelce in person yesterday, like live. I was the New Heights Live in Cincinnati. It was so much fun. It was at my school. I got to go for free. Joe Burrow was there. Stan Joe Burrow. That's why I was on the news, because they interviewed me, because I stood in the rain for hours waiting to get in. Travis Kelce is an interesting human being. That's all I have to say on the subject. Seeing him live in person, he's wild. Like, he's a wild child.
Las Vegas.
He's funny. He's just so not like similar to any of Taylor's past at all. He's so different than Joe, so different than Harry and Jake and the other
The rest
fucker
of
who we won't
them.
say his name. You know his name.
Yeah.
But it's been it was wild. I was like, this man's really dating Taylor Swift, and he's acting like this. But I'm happy for them. But yeah, I was like 10 feet away from Travis Kelce, and I was just like, oh my god, Taylor Swift's aura is all on him. Give some to me. Also, Jason's my favorite, and Kylie was also there. Sorry, this is so sidetracked, but I had so much fun seeing Kylie Kelce live because she came out to the arena after the show had started, and she came out, and oh my god, her reaction was crazy. Everyone loves Kylie Kelce. She got cheered so loud, and it was so fun. And they also got their degrees because they both graduated from UC, which is why they were here. But they hadn't had their graduation ceremony because obviously they haven't. They're NFL pros. And they got to have their little moment, and Travis was tearing up, and it made me pretty sad, actually. But it was really cute, and it was fun. Recommend it. Check it out once it drops. It was a fun episode.
Jaden, do you plan on listening to Torture Poets?
I do, yeah. Gabrielle is especially excited. When I first heard it was coming out, I pre-ordered the vinyl for her. So that's going to be really cool once we get that. But yeah, we're going to be listening like as soon as it drops. I'm probably the most excited for Fortnite just because it's Fortnite and Post Malone.
Posty!
Yeah, for real. The second, as a matter of fact, I say I bought the vinyl for her, but the second
we all know it's for you, Jaden.
Yeah, the second I saw Post Malone and Going to the Machine were also collabing on this vinyl, I was like, damn, all right, this is definitely a present for me as well.
Do we think it'll be a similar situation to Midnight's where she released the album? Like I remember listening to Midnight's and then I went to sleep a few hours later and I woke up and there were 5 new tracks. Do we think the tracks are, like the Black Dog, the Manuscript, the rest of them?
She just did it. She just did it for 1989 too. I mean, she had the release at 1989, and then we had the Kendrick at like 8 a.m. So now I'm terrified to go to bed because I went to bed at like, not even kidding, fucking 2:50 Midnight's release night. That's around when I fell asleep. If I could just made it 10 more minutes, I would have been able to listen to What If, Coulda, Shoulda, Dear Reader, all these great bangers before I went to bed. But no, I had to listen to them on my 10-minute mad dash to class because I woke up late. So this year, for this album, I will be listening at midnight and probably going straight to bed as quickly as I can because I'm going to be buzzed and I'm not going to be able to fall asleep. But so I will be up at 7 to drive to Target to get that all black version of the album because that looks so cool. And I'll have the all white version, which I pre-ordered the day of the Grammys, and I'll have the all black version, both on my shelf. And I think that'll be really fun, contrary to each other. For sure. I'm excited.
Yeah. Also with like You're Losing Me for Midnight's, like we had to like find audios for that for so long. I just hope it's not that long of a wait until like the bonus tracks are on streaming.
This hit's different even too. That came out the same day Midnight's release. That was on the Target CD, which I had the Target CD, so I could listen to it. But it didn't come on streaming until months and months after. Almost like I feel like it was almost a year after. No, it was probably like 6 months after Midnight.
It was a while.
It was a long time. So it was like around. Oh, was it? No, because when the Eras Tour really came out, that was All the Girls You Loved Before. It wasn't Hits Different.
She sang Hits Different as a surprise song, and then it went on streaming that day, I want to say. But I can't remember when that was. I want to say it was like July, August time, maybe.
She's crazy.
Yeah.
It's especially exciting because like I said, I wasn't really like a Swiftie until last year when we kind of started the podcast and I was, thrown into the whole lore of it. But this is like the first like new Taylor music that I'm gonna be like experiencing for the first time. I mean, obviously I've listened to older Taylor music, but especially like in the last year or so, it's mostly been like the Taylor's version stuff that I've been, kind of revisiting. And so with this, it's like the first like new thing that I'll actually be able to for the first time along with you guys. So that's really exciting.
It breeds core memories. It so breeds core memories. I remember exactly where I was when Midnight's released. I remember exactly what emotions I was feeling during each song. Me and Laila were texting. It was wild. But my favorite Taylor drop ever was listening to All Too Well, a 10-minute version for the first time. Oh,
that was
my God.
Unreal.
I remember exactly the position my body was in. Like, I don't remember just where I was. I remember how I was seated. where my phone was in location to me, the lighting of the room. I remember everything from that moment because it was life-changing. So I'm hoping that these songs hit as much as that because I'm so fucking excited.
Yeah, well, we're ready. We're ready to go for Taylor Swift as always, and for the Tortured Poets Department. And that's next week, right?
Yep.
Next Friday.
It is next Friday. As you can see on the banner, the Taylor Swift Tortured Poets Department is out everywhere April 19th or I will be listening on the 19th at midnight. So pretty much the 18th for me. I'll be awake, but same difference.
And we're going to have a bonus app, right?
Yeah, we'll have a bonus app where all we do the entire episode is break down every single song, including this one.
I know exactly what you're going to play.
It's on the bottom. So happy that my Travis. I forgot we had it in the song.
I thought you were going to
play it.
I know, I was waiting.
I forgot it. I forgot that existed. I'm not going to lie.
It's okay, you don't need to play it.
Yeah.
Well, now you reminded me. All right, moving on.
Anyway.
Yes. Moving on. CinemaCon happened this past week, and we got a lot of really cool things in the works, a lot of cool footage. But I have here some highlights. So we got some footage for Gladiator. This is starring Laila's man, our man, let's be real, Pedro Pascal. So Laila, what are you most excited for with Gladiator? Have you seen the first one?
No, I haven't. I don't know anything about Gladiator. I just know shirtless men fighting each other can all be a great time. Apparently, in the trailer that was shown at CinemaCon, I hate to say it, but he was bleeding pretty badly. And if you know anything about Pedro Pascal, you'll know that he does not have the best track record of staying alive. I could go through his entire filmography, and there'd be about 2 projects where he is still alive and breathing. So I'm scared. And he was fighting Joseph Quinn, who is obviously a bit younger than him, probably going to be a bit savvier and quicker and stronger. I don't know. I'm just scared. And if he dies, then I'm just going to be so I give up watching things with him at this point. But apparently Paul Mescal looks phenomenal, and I love that man with every inch of my being.
Yeah.
So them 2 being in a project together is just wow, I'm so excited.
Also Denzel too.
Yeah.
Denzel, you can't. Pedro.
Oh yeah.
Paul Mescal. Denzel Washington. Russell Crowe. The bitch who's playing Johnny Storm. How else could I be? How much more excited could I be?
Yeah. Also,
This, I will say, Gladiator will be his audition for me to like him as Johnny Storm. Because I heard he's playing a bad guy. So if he can pull off something being cocky, scary, arrogant, or whatever in this movie, I'll be a lot more prone to give him a chance than Fantastic Four. Because all I've seen from him right now is a trailer of Day One, Quiet Place, where he looks like a dork, and Stranger Things, where he is a dork.
Yeah.
So I need to see a little something different from him. So I'm excited. And I'm also excited to see shirtless Paul Mescal, because who's not?
I'm in love with him. It also makes my heart very happy that Denzel and Pedro are reuniting, because I love Dave York, who is the character that Pedro played in Equalizer 2. So that just makes me very happy.
Also, can we not make Paul Mescal go through something fucking traumatizing? Everything I've seen that motherfucker in is traumatizing.
Did you just let him have a good time for once, please?
Yeah.
I beg. After Sun, no.
After
take
Sun
that away from me.
hurts. All of Us Strangers, pain. Straight pain.
Normal people made me want to die. So just give me something nice, you know?
It doesn't have to be happy, but don't make him go through hell for the bajillionth time. Let this man be happy, please.
He's attracted to the pain.
I feel like Gladiator's not going to be a role where we get to see Paul Mescal be happy. But,
probably not.
But I can hope. Should have been Johnny Storm. Anyways.
We also got, I don't know if we got footage for the animated
I don't believe we got footage. I think it was just an announcement.
We got some announcements for sure. So there, I think we already knew that they were gonna put together a ATLA trilogy animated films. But we got some more details about it, and apparently Dave Bautista is supposed to be the main villain in the first movie. That's pretty exciting. I feel like Dave has a pretty good track record of being, kind of crazy and chaotic in a villainous type role. Kind of same how we saw him in Dune. And so I'm super excited for that. And so that film comes out October 10th, 2025. So be looking out for that because, again, very exciting stuff. And I think this is supposed to be covering the Team Avatar when they're a bit older. So, I mean, obviously there's going to be a bit of a time gap between the series and the films. So that's going to be really cool. I always wondered what they were going to do with that because I feel like there was so much more they can do after the series was over. And so this being films and a trilogy, I'm super excited for that. Moving on, we also got some Twisters footage, which I'll pass to CJ. How you feeling about the Twisters stuff going on?
So CinemaCon, the day that we got Twisters was a rough day for me, and we'll get into why in a little bit. But it has been a tough week. But anyways, Glenn Powell made his face shown at CinemaCon, and they showed footage from Twisters. They said they used real fucking jet engines to blow wind at them, which is crazy.
Yeah.
They got footage from real storms, real tornadoes to help film the movie. Crazy. This movie is going to be so much fun. If you haven't seen the first Twisters, I don't really like natural disasters movie, but the first Twister movie is actually really, really fun because it's not realistic, but it kind of feels like not one town is getting hit with this many tornadoes in one short period of time.
Yeah.
But it's kind of fun to be like, oh my God, storm chasing. Because who doesn't like watching storm chasing? The adrenaline, it's fun. And Glenn Powell's in it, and he's a fucking cowboy. And they have the song called Save a Horse, Ride a Cowboy, and Glenn Powell said something about that. Not really, but kind of. He said, you don't face your fears, you ride them. And I'm terrified of Glenn Powell. So that's all I have to say on the subject.
Pedro Pascal.
Yeah, I'm not usually the biggest fan of like natural disaster movies, mostly because, like you said, not that it doesn't feel realistic, but sometimes it doesn't even look realistic. But
are you telling me you don't like the Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson movie, San Andreas?
Yeah, that was my favorite, actually. I watch that all the time. But no, yeah, I have actually high hope for this one, especially now that you said they use a lot of like real life footage. So that's going to be really cool to see how they kind of incorporate that in the film. But also, Marvel had their own panel at CinemaCon, which is super exciting. So first thing I want to cover here is how Kevin Feige said something about the Thunderbolts official title having an asterisk at the end of it. He didn't get into why, but he did acknowledge it because obviously there was like why the fuck is there an asterisk at the end of this name? What do you think this could possibly mean? I was talking with Gabrielle a little bit, and she was saying how it could possibly just be like kind of just to throw us off, like, you know, how just to differentiate it from something like the Suicide Squad, where it's like, you know how you have an asterisk in like a paragraph or something, and then at the bottom of the page that asterisk will have like not like a definition, but like kind of give a little more context. I feel like it's going to be something where it's going to be like, this is a government run organization, blah blah blah, and kind of set like the standard for what the Thunderbolts actually is. But yeah, what do you guys think? Laila, I'll pass it to you.
I have no fucking clue, to be honest. Like even Feige was like, we're not going to acknowledge it until after the films come out. Like, why? What does that even mean? I don't even know.
I'm kind of on the same thinking of Gabrielle, where it's going to be nothing that crazy. I've seen some people saying Dark Avengers, but I'm like, if they're going to do Dark Avengers, they would have called the movie Dark Avengers. Because Avengers are so much of a marketing toy. You put the word Avengers over it, it's going to make so much more money than something called Thunderbolts. So I don't think it's that. I think it will just be like because sometimes people use asterisks as like corrections too. So maybe they would call themselves the Thunderbolts to like correct people or like something stupid with the government. I couldn't be bothered to give a fuck because I'm done with Marvel Studios. So
we'll get into that soon. But we also got some Deadpool 3 footage, which, I mean, we've been talking about Deadpool 3 for like months now, and we already know how excited we are for that. I think recently there was, I want to say it was like a cup or something that the official Wolverine was on. That looked pretty cool. I don't know if you guys saw it.
I think the render looks stupid, so I'm hoping that it was very clearly just an animated picture of Hugh Jackman in the suit. It wasn't actually Hugh Jackman in the suit.
But it gives a good idea.
It gives a good idea, and the mask looks good. I just can't wait to see it like actually on Hugh Jackman and not on it. It reminds me of when Multiverse of Madness was coming. We got the first look of America Chavez on fucking
Oh my god,
sweatpants.
yeah.
And everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, she looks terrible." I'm like, "It's because it's on sweatpants. Like, it's not gonna look good."
Yeah.
I am excited. I thought the mask, like the design of the mask, looked really, really cool.
Yeah.
Fuck the X-Men though, so I don't care.
I want to know what this fucking popcorn bucket is going to be about.
Oh, I did see that. They're kind of playing off the Dune hype for the popcorn bucket, and it's going to be something funny. It's going to be like a butthole or something. Just watch.
Right.
It'll be like a butthole or like something stupid. I can't wait. I'm so excited, actually. Oh my god.
I'm very excited for it. And we also got footage for Captain America: Brave New World, which shows Isaiah Bradley as the Winter Soldier. Supposedly.
Crazy.
And we also got some footage of Anthony Mackie as Captain America. We got Henry Ford. This looks pretty interesting. I mean, I think Anthony Mackie was kind of going into like what the title meant and everything. But yeah, what's your guys' hype level?
Pause. Who is Henry Ford?
What?
Do you mean Harrison Ford?
You said Henry Ford.
Did I say Henry Ford?
Yes, and in the script it says Henry.
Who the fuck is Henry Ford? No, because what? Who's Henry Ford? Hold up.
Because I just googled Henry Ford. I was like, is this like someone I don't know? And it's a fucking inventor of the Ford cars.
Who the fuck? How? Okay.
Why did you say Henry Ford?
You know what's crazy? I have no idea. I have zero clue. The way that I actually believe that it was Henry Ford for a minute. That's my brain.
Oh my god.
That's my brain fart working in the works right now. But yes, Harrison Ford. You got Harrison Ford. Yeah, and you know what's funny actually?
For that now.
When I said Henry Ford, I saw your face too. I was like, damn, what did I say? Harrison Ford. You got Harrison Ford. What do you guys think of this new footage and especially Isaiah as Winter Soldier?
I am so excited to see the story they're going to tell with Isaiah Bradley because obviously we learned a little bit about how he was mistreated by the government. I'm so excited to see how he got like brainwashed in some way or form to be like a Winter Soldier type S figure. Apparently he was jumping through windows and shit, which he ain't young, so that's pretty cool. That's going to be so much fun to watch. Apparently they acknowledged Henry Ford, looking different too.
Right, CJ.
Apparently they acknowledged Thunderbolt Ross looking different. So I'm curious to see. Yeah. Whatever.
Let's just say name drop now.
Yeah, that's our new gimmick. But I'm curious that they're leaning into Thunderbolt Ross looking different.
Yeah.
Especially with it being a passing, it seems like something you almost wouldn't do. And if you were going to do it, it'd have to have a really, really good reason to.
He's a squirrel.
So if it's for like dramatic effect, I'm a little confused. A comedic effect, I don't think it'll hit right. If it's for like, somehow he's here from a different universe or something like that, or maybe he took the Hulk serum and that's how we get Red Hulk, and that's why it changed him looking different. Because that also happened with Bruce Banner too. So I think that could be fun to lead into because you just happen to have two people who are going to become the Hulk being recasted. So I think maybe you play into that too, but then it makes no sense in terms of Jennifer Walters. So I don't know.
You have to think as well, though, like there's been so many recasts in the MCU, none of them have been acknowledged to have like a different appearance. Like Cassie Lang never said anything about her being recast, never said she looked different. Rhodey, when it was like Iron Man to Iron Man 2, nothing was like said about it. So I think that there must be a reason behind it. I think the line was, I'm trying to remember what Brandon's tweet, it was like, they said lose the stash or lose the election or something, I think was the line said in the footage. So it just seems like weird vibes, and I don't know why they would acknowledge it.
Yeah, especially in term, like it wasn't just like they recast it because they're going in a different direction. Like all the other ones you said, like the actor passed away, so it seems a little weird to choose now to do it. Yeah. So We'll see. We'll see. It'll definitely be something I'll need context of, but it kind of seems weird that they're saying that unless they want it to be like a Secret Warsy type Easter egg hint. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing. But obviously Marvel Studios has no idea how to run a company, so makes sense.
Yeah.
Also, if Bucky Barnes does not show up for at least 20 seconds in this film, I'm literally ending my life.
He's not in it. They
Yeah.
confirmed
Yeah,
it.
but they say that, and I don't want to believe it. So I think he's gonna show up for like 5 seconds, and if he doesn't, I'm done. Like,
Also,
I'm done.
we've talked about the Thunderbolts. We're talking about this film. The Zemo erasure is fucking crazy. Knock it off.
Exactly.
Bring fucking Daniel back. I'm pissed, actually.
Please.
Where is he? Falcon and the Winter Soldier, he was the best part of that series. And I love Bucky Barnes with my whole heart. Zemo stole that show.
Yeah.
Where is he? He's one of the coolest villains, the smartest villain we've seen in the MCU. Maybe Thanos aside. So cool. Where is he? Where?
Is fucking what's that bitch's name? Sharon Carter gonna be in it?
I hope not.
Probably, to be honest.
I hate her.
She's either going to be in this or Thunderbolts.
Oh yeah, I could see Thunderbolts more than I could see Captain America.
See, I could see Captain America more than I could see Thunderbolts, but I think they
Yeah,
both
with
make
like
sense.
the whole Madripoor thing and like her being
Because
involved
also
in, like,
we don't
government
really have a
shit.
clear villain of Captain America 4 yet. I don't believe.
Yeah.
Do we?
No.
Wasn't it the leader or no?
Oh, it is the leader. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Me too.
I wonder if she plays a role in that. Maybe she's the one who's like helps him get off his feet because she's like
Maybe
bad
someone just
guy
kills her. I don't know.
right now. I don't know. She can go away.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, yes. So that's what we got for CinemaCon. Unless you have anything.
All right, folks, grab your fucking popcorn.
Yeah, CJ will get into why he is boycotting the MCU now.
This is an Amazing Grace instrumental. Because the MCU died on Wednesday. This is for the Winter Soldier, Endgame, Infinity War, Black Widow, all my favorite moments, my favorite characters.
You will be missed.
They're all fucking dead to me. All of them. Everyone. Kevin Feige, dead to me. Bo DeMaio, you're a bitch. All of you. Hate all of you. Let's just talk about this atrocity. X-Men 97 happened this week. It was so bad. So Rogue is being a little weirdo loser, flirting with Magneto on the plane, and Gambit's like, oh, I'm gonna go. They go to Krakoa for the Hellfire Gala, and blah blah blah. Rogue tells Gambit she's done with him because she's stupid, and then they get attacked by this giant thing. And before that, Jean cheated on Scott because apparently the X-Men just love to cheat on each other all the time. And she kissed Wolverine, but back to Krakoa. They get attacked by a gigantic Sentinel, which actually looked really cool, but it didn't matter because it was stupid. And they fight it. Gambit has some really cool moments, actually. He uses his powers really cool, and he blows up the Sentinel and dies in the process. Yeah, stupid. I hate it. Rogue, I hate you. Cyclops, everything I ever said about you, I was wrong. I'm sorry. Cyclops is up there as my favorite X-Men now that my fave is dead. It's between him, Logan, and Beast. Because all the other ones are fucking dead to me. So emo now. Stan, 21 Pilots, and Paramore, and My Chemical Romance. Never tuning into Marvel product again. If you tune in next week to hear my X-Men 97 thoughts, you won't. Zack Snyder, I'm so thankful for you. I know Zack Snyder would never do this if he got the chance. He would give us a banger. DC, James Gunn's going to save us from this atrocity that we live in that's called the MCU, the dumb CU. Hashtag not cinema. Hashtag I'm never watching the show again. Hashtag cancel Kevin Feige. Hashtag Soups was right.
Well, I'll give my slightly more positive thoughts. I thought this episode was interesting. As much as I hate the fact that Gambit is supposedly dead, I do think, like you said though, I do think what they gave him to do in this episode was kind of crazy. the way that he was able to kind of literally explode that fucking 3-headed sentinel thing was actually insane. I wasn't expecting that. But being on Genosha again, and this is a throwback to the original series. I thought it was really cool to see how that progressed. Nightcrawler, getting Nightcrawler back was a ton of fun.
He died, didn't he?
Did he? No, he didn't.
Yeah,
I think he did.
No, I don't believe
I'm pretty sure he died.
He
also-
died, Jaden.
No,
We watched him die because he saved Jean. And he saved whoever, and then he died.
No, but then he was up after that. Like, he was up and awake and conscious after that. Because then they were about to blast him again. You just weren't paying attention because
Let me do some research and I'll get back to you.
Well, either way, Nightcrawler.
Oh, so we're only gonna kill Gambit. We're not gonna kill other X-Men. Okay, I see how it is.
Whether Nightcrawler's dead or not, it was cool to get him back. I
hope
love
he's
the
dead.
way that his powers look.
I hope Rogue's next.
I honestly like. I feel like this episode was the first. I mean, obviously, I felt for Gambit before this, but like this was the first time where I felt like, damn, this man's heart is getting ripped to pieces by Rogue. And
that scene by the fire, that was like "Call Me by Your Name" for straight people.
That scene by the fire was absolutely gut wrenching. But then she kind of pulled away from Magneto they had a crazy dance scene at the gala.
Also, she's so stupid for that. She just broke a man's heart, and she's gonna do all that. What?
Yeah, he's dead.
Oh, fuck.
But back to my point. You're going to break a man's heart, and then you're going to do all this extra ass dancing right in front of him. She knew he was in the room.
Right.
And she's going to do all that in front of him.
Right.
Rude.
It's one thing, like, there was part of me that, like, understood her reasoning. Like, obviously, her powers kind of stop her from...
She was rubbing it in his face.
But, yeah, for sure, she was rubbing it in his face after the fact. But if she had not done that, I'd probably have more sympathy because of just her power set and how she's not able to touch him and things like that. Like, obviously, in a relationship, you want to be able to do that. And so being that she had that with Magneto, for sure. But then she went and did that crazy fucking, like, in-your-face kind of thing at the gala. That was like, all right, a little too much.
Even Madeline Pryor kept looking at Gambit because she knew what that man was going through. And then they also knew that he was about to die, and they didn't say shit. So fuck Madeline Pryor, fuck Jean Grey, because they got that little thing. They got a little.
I was gonna say Madeline Pryor was also talking with Cyclops, like they were having a connection in their brain, and then real Jean walked in on them, which is crazy.
See, the X-Men just okay. So let's just in this series so far. So we had Rogue cheat on Gambit with Magneto. We had Jean cheat on Cyclops with Logan. And then you had Cyclops cheat on Jean with Madeline Pryor. Like, Bodemayo loves a good soap opera storyline, I guess. Because, golly. The soap opera better fucking continue, though. Because if Cable goes back and fixes everything and Gambit's alive, I'll still hate it, but at least he's alive. So they better keep it up if I watch, which I won't.
True. Oh, also, now that you bring up Cable, that's a good point. Cable,
that was cool.
Cable showed up in this episode, and he said that he's coming. I didn't know if he meant the actual like 3-headed Sentinel thing, or if he was talking about whatever or whoever was controlling that Sentinel from wherever the fuck. I didn't know if he was kind of pointing at Apocalypse, because we got Apocalypse in the OG series. I don't think they would do that again. So I'm very interested to see who they could be bringing up as the
me.
Well, yeah, the main guy. Main
villain. Now. It might have been a different guy, but it's me now. I'm coming for them.
CJ, villain for X-Men 24.
Yup, season 2. Me and Mark Pacelli. Shout out Mark Pacelli. I love you, but we're coming. Mark Pacelli is another Gambit fanboy, and all we've been doing this week is telling everyone how terrible the show is.
That's funny.
literally kill any other character, and this is a top 5 episode of TV I've ever watched. So, but no, now it's like bottom 2, actually bottom 1, 1 of 1.
Well, unless there's anything else we'd like to say about episode
I've said my piece. Rest in peace, Gambit. You were an amazing human being. People didn't see what they should have in you. I saw it. All you wanted to do was be loved, and I loved you, and I was here for you until the moment you died. And I just wanted to let you know I'll miss you. I'm thankful for you. Rest in peace. All you other fucking X-Men, I hate you.
Rest in peace, Gambit. But yeah, that'll conclude our episode. We got through a lot today, and we had a good time doing it. So yeah, CJ, Laila, where can the people find you?
You can find me anywhere at CJ_, and on Cincinnati, WLWT, NBC News. I'm a star now.
Yeah, you can find me anywhere at FalconsNat. Just mute me on everything like next Friday onwards, because the stuff I'm about to come out with is just not going to be fun for anyone. So save yourselves.
Yeah, and hopefully we'll have an episode out for you next weekend. Hopefully not too long after Tortured Poets comes out, and give you our reaction. It won't be our first listen, but it will be like a deep dive into each song, and we can play snippets of the song. So
maybe we'll try to get a fun guest too.
Yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be like a little release party with us, and we can talk about the lore. For all of you who aren't as deep in Swiftie culture as us, we can give you some lore behind the songs, some Easter eggs to other songs, other albums, maybe some hints for the future. And yeah, it'll be fun to deep dive into.
Yeah, definitely tune in for that, because I don't know any other experts as good as these two when it comes to Taylor lore. So definitely tune into that. But if you're not following the Fandom Academy on socials, you can find us on Instagram, TikTok at Fandom Academy. I think TikTok has 2 Ys. You can also find us on Twitter at Fandom Academy. Tune into all the stuff we got cooking. Definitely check out the Agents of Fandom YouTube, where pretty much all of our podcasts in the network are. You can find The Critics. I almost said Ticket to Reality. The Critics, Cinema Sibs, the Agents of Fandom main show, our show, and Comic Corner. So definitely check those out. You can find us on Spotify, Apple, wherever you get your podcast. And yeah, you can find me pretty much anywhere at Jaden.cmduran. You can definitely check out my bartending content at Duran.drinks. And yeah, good episode, y'all.
Hopefully next week will be a little bit happier.
Yeah, for sure.
No, it won't.
Taylor, yeah, not with Taylor breaking your heart.
As long as we're not talking about the X-Men.
Dream, comma, by Jojo Siwa.
Yeah, do that.
Ladies, gators.